If you're on a window tint, ceramic coating, PPF, vinyl wrap, or detailing shop, sales is one of the highest leverage skills that you can gain in your business. Sales is the foundation of everything else, and if you don't master sales, you'll never grow your shop as quickly or as profitably as you could. So this short video is going to be a masterclass on everything that you need to know when it comes to the foundational skills of sales. Now, the first things first, if you're getting on the phone, telling your customer the price and expecting them to buy, you're missing out on thousands of dollars or even tens of thousands of dollars every single month. You need an actual framework that you go through to build a gap between where the customer's at, where they want to be, and make sure that you are able to effectively position yourself as their best and only option. The first thing that you're going to want to do when you're on your sales call is do the intro. The intro is a very brief section building a rapport with the client, making sure that they're aligned with why you're calling. For example, you could say, hey, is this Mr. Prospect? They say yes. You say, perfect. This is Chris with Tinted Media. I'm just calling because I saw you reached out about XYZ offer. Is that correct? They say yes, perfect. That's all you need for the intro. It's a very brief section, making sure that you're on the phone with the right person and they know why you're calling. Then you move into the frame, which is where you take control of the call. This section, you want to make sure you're the one asking questions and that you're diving into things rather than the other way around. If they're asking right out the gate, what's the price? You need to take control of that, but ultimately you don't want to let it happen. So what you can do to avoid that is say, what inspired you to reach out today? That's one of my favorite questions to ask when it comes to beginning the conversation with this type of sale. After frame, you move into discovery. This is going to be the longest section of your sale, and it's going to make or break the call. If you have an excellent discovery, the chances that you close are infinitely higher than if your discovery is subpar. Now, discovery is broken up into a few different sections. Number one, you've got the pain points. What is the prospect trying to avoid? In the case of a window tint, this could be heat. This could be other people seeing into their car. It could be UV protection. They want to keep their skin safe. Ceramic coating or PPF. It could be they want to make sure their car is preserved in terms of value. They want to make sure it doesn't get scratched. They want to keep it safe for years to come. You can figure out based on the prospect what is their specific pain point that they're looking to solve. After you figure that out, you want to go into all the options they have. What else are they looking into in order to solve this problem or this pain point? You need to make sure that you go through everything. What have they done in the past or looked at in the past? What are they currently doing? And what are they looking into doing? What other shops are they talking to? You need to figure out why they haven't already moved forward with the current shops, why their current solution or their current fix is not working, and why they don't just do the same things that they've done in the past. This is crucial if you get a lot of people saying, let me shop around, let me think about it, or I've got other options. This is one of the biggest points where if you solve it in discovery, you stop getting that objection. Again, make sure they have no other options. By the end of this section, they need to feel like you're the only person who's going to fit their needs and be the service provider. After that, you want to move into goals. What is their goal outcome with the service? So we spoke about pains before. One of their goals is going to be, of course, solve that pain, but past just that pain point, what else are they looking to achieve? This is going to sum up your discovery section. Again, it should be one of the longest portions of the call. This is where you build all the rapport, and this is where you ultimately make the sale. Once discovery is done, you're going to move into what we call the label. The label is wrapping everything that they've told you in discovery into one single sentence that makes the prospect feel like you perfectly understand their situation. So, hey prospect, based on what you're telling me, and I want to make sure I've got everything right here. Correct me if there's anything I'm missing in it that you add to this. Right now, though, it sounds like you're currently struggling with XYZ pain. You've tried XYZ in the past, you're currently doing XYZ, and you're looking into XYZ, but none of those options are going to work because of whatever reasons they told you, not what you think what they told you. And ultimately, the goal here is to what they told you the goal is. Does that all sound right? They say yes, that's going to build the most trust out of anything in this call because they feel like you have, again, a perfect understanding on exactly where they're at, what their options are, and where they're looking to go to. So then when you go into pitching them on your service, your solution, they feel they have that trust that you're actually telling the truth and you can help them. But before you do that, you want the pre-pitch, which is saying, based on everything we've gone over, based on my understanding that of you, of your situation from the label, I 100% feel like we can help you out. I know we can help you out. You want to instill massive confidence into the prospect that your solution is a good fit, and then you can transition into the pitching section. Now, the pitch is obviously where you're going to position yourself, your solution, as their fit, and you want to make this completely custom based on everything that they have told you throughout discovery. You should not have a copy paste pitch that you do for every prospect because you're going to lose sales. Different prospects are calling you, are reaching out for different reasons, and you need to be customized based around that. All right, that's the first major half of this sales call. Now we move into the closing section. First thing we want to do before we get into price is a temp check. This is where we're going to figure out where they're at. Does this feel like what you're looking for? Do you feel like there's a better option somewhere else, or do you feel like this is the perfect fit as long as the price works out? If they're anything less than 100% confident that you're the perfect fit as long as price works out, you've got work to do. You have to figure out, oh, really, you sound hesitant. Why is that? You have to figure out their objections. Get to the root of why they're not 100% confident and fix that. Once that's fixed and they're 100% confident that you're the fit as long as price works out, you move into the close. Now, the close is very short, but very important. You need to maintain 100% confidence throughout, because if you lose confidence when pitching price, they're going to lose confidence as well. Great way to do this is if you're offering some sort of special. All right, perfect. Normally it's going to cost XYZ amount, but since you're one of the first 5 people that reached out on our XYZ special, it's coming down to just XYZ price. Do you want to go ahead and lock that in? After you tell them the price, be silent. They need to be the next one to talk, because the next one to talk is the one who loses the sale. If you talk first, you lose the sale. If they talk first, they lose the sale. So make sure you're silent. Oftentimes, be prepared. They're going to have some concern that comes up. This is normal. Do not get off the phone with them as soon as they have a concern, or else you're missing out on sales. You need to figure out what the concern is, why they're not booking, and how you can fix that. However, before we go into that, if they do say yes, they want to lock that in, how do you transition from there to actually get them booked in? Okay, perfect. Which day is going to be best for you? I've got a Tuesday and I've got a Thursday. Tuesday I could do 9 a.m., Thursday I could do 1 p.m. Okay, got it. I'm getting that confirmed right now. What's the best email for you? Okay, let me write that in. All right, and then to lock you in with that XYZ discount, we do just take a 10% deposit. What's going to be the best card to put that on? Always collect card info on the phone. You're going to have a massive increase in pay rate doing it this way versus just sending them a link, and it's going to be extremely helpful. So that's the back half of the sale once you're through objections and they want to say, or they say they want to book in. Now, if you do have someone hesitant on giving card info, you can say, no worries. Just to get you locked in, we do take a deposit. If you feel more comfortable, I can send you a link and walk you through how to take care of that while we're on this call, and then walk them through it. If they still say no, it's an objection. Do not let them off the call without getting paid, or bare minimum scheduling a follow-up call, but you want to get paid on that call because, again, the pay rate is going to drop drastically after they get off the phone with you. Now, let's go back to objections. If they do have objections right after you drop price, which, again, most likely will, it's not normal for a cold lead, someone from cold traffic who doesn't know, like, and trust you, to book in directly. You need to handle the objection. You cannot just get off the phone with them as soon as they give you an objection. So the way that you want to do this is clarify their objection, isolate that outside of that, there's nothing holding them back, and then you want to validate the concern but not the logic behind the concern, and finally reframe their concern or their objection to the way that you think about it. That would be them booking. So clarify could be they tell you they need to think about it. You say, okay, what specifically are you looking to think about? Is it the price? Is it the timing? Do you feel like we're not going to do a good job? Etc. Once you figure out the root, let's say it's price. Okay, outside of pricing, just, price itself, is there anything at all stopping you from moving forward right now? You want to get a huge tie down on that. If they say yes, you need to figure out what is stopping them from moving forward right now outside of price. Once you've isolated down to just one thing and they've tied in, okay, I will buy, assuming this one thing is solved, then you want to move into validate. I totally understand where you're coming from. Price is 100% a big concern, and you obviously don't want to go spend outside of what your budget is. Now, do you mind if I share my thoughts with you on that? That's super important. You want to get permission to reframe. Then you want to move into the reframe section where you can go over many different things, and there's a few different ways, especially with the price side of things, to do this. What I would start with is go for a financing option. So again, I definitely understand where you're coming from with pricing. You don't want to go outside of your budget. I don't want you to go outside of your budget either. However, I know that in the long run, you're going to end up paying way more money if you go to one of these other shops offering less, because then you're going to have to bring it back to us get the old tint removed, and get it retinted, which is going to cost even more. What I would recommend instead, especially since we are offering this discount right now, is locking in with a 10% deposit, and then we can do financing so that you can pay the rest of it off over time rather than having to come all out of pocket. If they still say no to that, then you can go down into figuring out what were you hoping to spend, or what's a number where you would say, okay, Chris, let's get this booked in right now. If that number is within reason, I would always recommend coming down to it. If not, then you have to go through that process again. Okay, why do you feel like it's too much? Clarify, isolate, validate, reframe, continue until you get the close. Now that's on the call. A few things I want to go over off the call as well. Number one is speed to lead. This is the biggest determining factor of your close rate. There's so many studies on this, and it's still one of the biggest things that shop owners miss. There's studies from MIT showing a 100x decrease in contact rate and a 21x decrease in qualification rate when you get to a lead within 30 minutes versus 5. There's a separate study showing a 391% increase in close rate when you contact a lead within 60 seconds, meaning assuming nothing else changes, your sales process stays the exact same, but you call them within 60 seconds, you're 4 times more likely to book them in. There's nothing else that's going to quadruple your business as easily as just calling your leads sooner. So that's number one. Number two is follow up with your leads. Do not call them once and then say, oh, they're dead, they didn't pick up. You need to actually follow up for minimum 5 days, if not longer, to make sure that you're getting the most out of everyone that comes in. You're paying for every lead. You might as well get every lead to pay you that you can. So those are probably the two biggest things outside of the call. Some other small things, always double dial, keep your pipeline organized, keep notes, and you will be good to go. Now, if you want a full breakdown of our entire 5-step marketing and sales framework, there's going to be a free download link in the description. If you also want to book a call with me and my team so that we can implement everything done for you, there's another link for that in the description. Click it, and I'll talk to you there.